You know, baby, I know you think we can make it all work out, but I gotta tell it like it is. And I don't wanna make this any harder than it needs to be, so don't cry. Don't wanna see your tears.
I mean, Stones Throw they've always been one of my favorite labels. You know, most people know Stones Throw's reputation for quality releases, you know, quality music that they put out, but a lot of people don't know that they're also some of the best people to work with in the world. You know, they've given me so much freedom for my, you know, for this project. You know, they basically have supported whatever I want to do for this album. You know, who else, what other label, you know, would have put out my single on a red heart-shaped record, you know, when just because I asked if they would do it. You know, so it's been a pleasure working with them so far, and hopefully we get to keep putting out records with Stones Throw. I'm a huge vinyl record guy. I've been collecting vinyl records my whole life, and you know, it's my favorite format for music, and I'm sure it always will be. And for my first single, I really wanted to do something special, something memorable for vinyl collectors like myself. So I asked Stones Throw if they would press the single on a red heart-shaped record, because both of the songs kind of dealt with love and relationships, and it seemed like it made sense. But you know, that's an odd request, and it was my first release ever on Stones Throw, and I was brand new to the label, and they didn't know me that well, and we didn't know at the time that this project would be as successful as it is now. And I honestly didn't think that they would do it, but you know, that's a true testament to Stones Throw, and you know, how supportive they've been of all the creative things that I want to do for this project. You know, they went ahead and found out, you know, it's a really expensive and complicated procedure to make a Red Heart record, but they were like, no problem, we'll figure out how to do it, and they did it. And you know, at the time we didn't know if we'd even be able to sell 1,000 copies of it, and those first 1,000 copies sold out in like 2 or 3 days. And it was just, you know, that it's just been like that for this whole project. It's just gone so far beyond anything that we ever expected. I mean, especially for me.
Don't wanna see your tears.
This album is definitely heavily influenced by 60s and 70s soul, but it's also, you know, like, I wasn't even alive in the 60s. You know, I'm an 80s kid. You know, I grew up listening to hip hop in the 80s and 90s, and so, you know, I think that was just as influential, you know, as like, you know, the classic Motown stuff. So you know, you hear just as much Jay Dilla, you know, on this album as you do like Smokey Robinson or Isaac Hayes or Curtis Mayfield. I also listen to Frank Sinatra and the Beach Boys, and you know, there's a lot of rock influence in there, and you know, yeah, Burt Bacharach, like you said, he's a legend, you know. So, you know, my musical tastes are definitely, you know, across the board. You know, I listen to, you know, reggae, jazz, classical, you know, heavy metal, everything under the sun. So, you know, you hear a lot of that. You know, I'm sure that comes out naturally in my music. Yeah, vocals are definitely like a very new thing for me. You know, I've always been the DJ or, you know, the bass player or the drummer. You know, this is the first time I've ever been the lead singer in a group. You know, so it's a very new thing for me. I was never formally trained as a vocalist. You know, I never sang in the choir in school or anything. So, you know, I just kind of, you know, I'm still learning as I go along and experimenting and really finding my voice, you know. But so far it's been a lot of fun, and it's a very different experience, but it's an enjoyable one. I played the majority of the instruments on the album. I tried to play as many myself as I could. You know, that's like part of the challenge for me. I enjoy the challenge of trying to play as much of it myself as I can. But you know, I definitely had some help along the way from some of the members of the county, my live band. And when we do live shows, I mainly focus on the singing, and you know, I have my band of, you know, all of my favorite musicians that are playing with me. So, you know, I try to let them do their thing and focus more on the singing.
Don't wanna see your tears.
Detroit is like a magical breeding ground for the best musicians and artists in the world. And you know, I don't know if it's the water there or if it's like, you know, the struggle or the winters. Whatever it is, Detroit breeds the greatest music and artistry and creativity. And, you know, the sad part about it is that there's not enough industry in Detroit to support all of the fantastic art and music that comes out of that area. So, you know, most Detroit artists have to move elsewhere to, you know, to really further their careers and to make a living at music or art. When I moved to Los Angeles, I didn't even know anybody at Stone's Throw. I met them about a year after I moved to Los Angeles. When I moved to LA from Detroit, I was going to LA to pursue a career in hip-hop music. And I moved out there with my group Now On. And I was mainly focused on DJing and producing hip-hop. And, you know, it just happened to work out that Peanut Butter Wolf got a hold of my songs, my Mayor Hawthorne songs, and he loved them so much that he asked me to do a full album. Where, you know, before that I never even had any plans to record a full album of doo-wop or soul music. It was really more of a experiment on the side for fun. I'm gonna sing a new song that I haven't even recorded yet. This is one I just wrote. Well, I remember last time that I saw your sparkling eyes.
Ba 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 da.
Well, they were bloodshot red, black makeup all down the sides.
Ba 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 da.
He ran off for a midnight rendezvous with Desiree.
Ba 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 da.
And they were dancing all night downtown at Sam's Cabaret.
Ba 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 da.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.